Hello, I'm Professor John Schwant of New St. Andrews College, and I direct the National Biblical Greek Exam at GreekExam.com. I have an ever-increasing amount of educational material to help you with New Testament exegesis and further your understanding of Biblical Greek at biblicalgreek.org. If you want to keep in touch with the latest additions to the site and other materials that I'm producing, you can follow me at facebook.com/IBGpage. My mission and ministry is to promote New Testament Bible study grounded in the original texts. So I consider myself to be a support crew for pastors and church leaders. And for this reason, I have developed two types of courses that are available right now. One is a full course on Biblical Greek for those who want to attain fluency with the language of the New Testament. The distinctive feature of this course is that we actually use the language in conversation right from the basic conversations in Chapter 1. This is the only way to attain fluency. The other course that I'm going to present in this video is an abbreviated course designed for the majority of New Testament scholars and enthusiasts who simply want to learn how to deepen and ground their Bible study in the original language of the New Testament without having to become fluent in a foreign language. I call this abbreviated course New Testament Language Training, since it explains the support structure for our New Testament English translations and teaches us how to understand both the Biblical Greek underneath the translations and various options used to communicate Scripture in English. I used to call this course Greek in a Week, but now, since its focus is to explain how you can improve your understanding of English translations by understanding the original language and its supporting structure, I'm now simply calling it New Testament Language Training. Also, the entire course is less than 20 hours, so it doesn't make sense to talk about it in terms of a week. In addition to teaching you how to look behind the curtain of our translations, the great part about this course is that you can't get lost. Instead of taking you through a series of lessons that build upon each other in such a way that as soon as you get off track, nothing else makes sense, as nearly every other Biblical Greek course does, this course summarizes everything in the first hour and then goes back through everything in greater detail in the following 2 hours. Then the next longer segment starts back over again and works through the language in finer detail. And this happens again and again. There are many benefits to this methodology. There is never a point at which someone must drop out if they missed something. Continual waves of review are built into the course. If you start to feel lost, it's okay. We will be back by that material soon. I think this is a much more natural way to learn than a rigid building of lesson upon lesson. Even if you don't know anything about Biblical Greek and are even put off by the word Greek, I'm sure you wonder sometimes what stands behind all of our English translations, and want to ask questions of the New Testament that depend on its phrasing and its structure. This course can help you reach those goals. Even if you have a weak understanding of English grammar, this course will provide you with a clear understanding of how the language in our English translations functions and what kind of options we have. Some past attendees have told me that they never felt comfortable with English grammar until they took this course. Other types of satisfied attendees are prospective seminary students. If you are thinking about attending seminary, this course will provide you with a strong understanding of the overall structure of Biblical Greek, so you won't get lost in all of the details when you take a traditional course. The last type of satisfied attendees are people who have studied Biblical Greek previously, sometimes decades ago, and want to refresh their understanding or take another try at gaining a better understanding of the language of the New Testament. Since this course explains how all Greek forms are really based off of a few paradigms, and focuses on how the relatively small number of Greek and English phrase and clause types correspond to each other, I have seen people who have failed to learn these languages previously finally get it. I have even seen people who have performed very well in high-caliber Greek courses take this course and say that they finally understood the consistency of the language. Let me give you a brief overview of the course. The first hour summarizes hermeneutics by showing how all methods interact to some degree or another with either the author's intention, the text itself, and the perspective or understanding of the reader. Then, since this is a New Testament language training course, it will focus on primarily textual issues. However, there will be plenty of times when authorial intent and reader understanding cannot be avoided when focusing on the text and the language. We will point these out and discuss how they will affect our interpretations as we come across them. We then show how we can separate New Testament language into 4 parts, beginning with the core of a word and show how that will relate to word studies. Next is spelling changes, also called morphology, that affect meaning of words. Then, how meaning can change when words work together, also called syntax. And then the last category is the various ways phrases and clauses in larger sections of discourse affect meaning. This broad overview will be our first wave of instruction and provide our framework. Then we will go back to the beginning. The next wave of instruction will start with the Greek alphabet. And there is a preparatory video for learning the Greek alphabet prior to the course. We will review the alphabet by learning how Greek letters work together and influence each other. And I will call these influences principles of euphony. This will come in handy when you are working with word studies or looking at spelling changes of Greek words. For those who have been exposed to Greek previously, this section will begin to open up new vistas of understanding. In this wave, we will also investigate areas of grammar common to word meaning and morphology, that is, spelling meaning, such as voice and transitivity. These are major issues for interpretation. Just when the detail starts to stack up, we will start back over again by going back again to our most basic language unit, the root word. This opens the door for the next wave of instruction that will train you to perform word studies from the original language and avoid pitfalls common to those who can't go back to the original. Then we will work through how spelling changes affect the meaning of verbs. This course will demonstrate how Greek only uses 2 sets of verb endings, which will be a huge relief for those who tried to learn Greek previously but got lost in all the paradigms. There is very little memorization required for the course, since we can let Bible software do the parsing for us. But we will have to learn enough forms in order to make sense of the information we get from such tools. We will finish this trek through the language by looking at meanings conveyed by syntax, how words work together. This is where we explain how prepositions and noun case endings work. The next wave through the language takes us deeper and compares how everything we just covered can be performed with phrases and clauses. Of course, we will review the difference between phrases and clauses, and we'll work through plenty of exercises together in both Greek and English, and polish off working through the remaining areas of language. This is when people really start understanding what is going on, even in our own language. People who previously didn't know the categories for the parts of speech suddenly start showing me how they can easily rephrase something with a dependent clause, a prepositional phrase, a participial phrase, or even a single word. And then we start having discussions about how such structural choices made in translations differ from the grammatical structures of the original language. This leads us to serious Bible study, the kind which has opened new ways for me to approach the Word and meditate on it. We finish by reviewing everything as we work through longer New Testament passages and practice exploring interpretations of the New Testament original language. All right, let's talk about prerequisites. The course doesn't require any previous language training, but it does assume that you will be using some Bible software in the future. You don't need any to work through the course, since you can just watch how I use Logos Bible software, which I recommend, before deciding what additional tools would benefit you. If you do have Logos Bible software, I will be providing tips on how I have structured and used my digital library. So if you have Logos Bible software and want to get more out of the original language resources available in your software, this course will show you how. Everyone will receive approximately a 100-page syllabus in PDF form with plenty of illustrations and screenshots explaining the grammar I discuss and how I use Logos software for Bible study. In addition to teaching at New St. Andrews College, I've been traveling to various locations to offer intensive courses like this one for over a decade. All it takes to bring this course to your city is to find 10 interested people and contact me to arrange it. If you can't find others who share this desire, you are welcome to contact me and let me know about your interest at biblicalgreek.org/classes/GIAW. When enough people express interest about a particular location, I send out emails and create a discussion forum at facebook.com/IBGpage to see if there is a particular time and place that would work for enough people. And now, after teaching my conversational Greek course online for over a decade, I'm finally offering this intensive New Testament language training course online. You don't have to wait and see if enough interest develops in your area. You can participate in the course from your own home. All you need is an internet connection. A microphone or webcam is also beneficial but not necessary. The method I use for presenting the live online course via conference simply runs on your browser, so there's nothing to install on your computer. The great part about taking the course online is that the entire course will be recorded and available for you to review. I know that a live online course might be a new experience for many of you, so I wanted to show you what my online classes look like. Here are some clips of some previous online classes. In some part of the screen, you will see and hear me. You will also be able to hear others when they ask questions through their microphone. When we want to open up a discussion, we can also allow people to use their webcams so you can see others in the course when they turn their cameras on. Below the camera pod, I have a list of attendees, so you can tell who else is in the course and who else is talking when someone uses their microphone. There will be a little icon that shows they are talking. I also have a portion of the screen that is a whiteboard that I can draw on or highlight or present a PowerPoint presentation. I can also use that area to do a screen capture of my computer and show you how I'm using my Logos Bible software live. Below that area of the screen is a chat window. This is where anyone can type questions or comments as they come up during the course. In traditional courses, it's disruptive to ask questions or to talk to others in class while a presentation is going on. But with the chat window, you're welcome to chat along and write comments away, and it provides a neat dynamic in teaching because I can read as I'm talking, and it's not disruptive to everyone. So it adds a nice additional layer of feedback, which is kind of helpful when we're not all in the same room. Another nice benefit of offering this course online is that I can offer the course over a few evenings and a Saturday, so you don't have to take time out of your normal work routine. Some of the course offerings will be set to work best with Pacific and Mountain time zones, and others will be set to suit Central and Eastern time zones better. But you're free to sign up for anyone that you would like. You can take a look at biblicalgreek.org/classes/GIAW to see the list of current offerings and learn more about the course and sign up. There are discounts available for signing up early. And I do have to limit the class size so that everyone can feel comfortable asking questions and be an interactive part of the course. So the class will be filled on a first-come basis. So take a look at the sign-up page and see which offering will work best for you. Hopefully we can start enjoying the New Testament language together soon. I look forward to hearing what you discover once you start working with the New Testament this way. If you have any questions at all, please email me at jds@biblicalgreek.org.